Let's take a look at how to crop and straighten an image. We're going to start with a file. We're going to open a file in our Chapter 3 folder. Let's go this time to the image titled Crop. We'll bring that up on screen. The tool we're going to use is named, appropriately enough, the Crop tool. That's located here in the Tool panel. The shortcut command for this is the letter C. And the easiest way to use Crop is simply click and drag on an image. Once I let it go, I'm not committing to the crop. I can further refine this. I could say, well, that's a little bit too high. I'll bring it down. We could bring this out on the side, and we can move it freely anywhere we want in the image. Notice a few things in the options bar. We've got a crop guide overlay. Mine is set to none. Yours might be set to rule of thirds, for example, which breaks the image up into grids. There's a finer grid called grid, so you're free to use any of these you want. For now, I'm going to leave it set to none. We have a shield color. We'll toggle this off, and you can see that the shield color applies a separate overlay to the area that is going to be removed, the area that is going to be cropped out. That's helpful. It gives you a little visual idea of what your image is going to look like by blocking out the material that you're going to crop. We can choose a color for that shield. Right now it's set to black, and it has an opacity of 75%, which is great because we can still see through it in case we need to make fine-tuning adjustments. Now if we go, I'll drag this out to the bottom. To commit to this crop, you can simply press the return or enter key on the keyboard, or on the PC we can right-click, control-click on the Mac and select crop. And there we have our crop. I'm going to undo this with Control-Z on the PC and Command-Z on the Mac, because there's something else I want to show you. We just did a freeform crop, but suppose you want to crop to a specific ratio or perspective. In the width and height box, I'm going to type in numbers. For the width, I'll put in a 4, and for the height, I'll put in a 5. Now, when I drag with the crop tool, I am automatically constrained to a 4:5 proportion. So if I had to fit this for a magazine layout, for example, and their pages were spec'd for a 4:5 ratio, I could automatically crop to that perspective and know that my image is going to fit. I'm going to cancel out of this with a right click on the PC, control click on the Mac. Now, those of you who've been paying attention, I'll zoom into this a little bit more, may notice that this image is not level, it is not straight. When you use the crop tool, I'll draw it again, you have the option, if you move the cursor over one of the corners, you get this double bent arrow tool, and that lets you adjust the crop and move it, and you can use that to straighten out an image, but it's a very imprecise method. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go back to the tool panel, and we're going to choose the ruler tool. The ruler tool is hidden underneath this eyedropper tool. So we'll go here and select ruler. Now this is great because we simply click on something that should be straight. I'm going to use the top edge of this building. I'm going to click on the left corner and drag over towards the right corner. I've now drawn a line over an item that should be straight but that is currently crooked. In the tool options bar, I have a straighten button. If I click straighten, watch what happens. It not only straightens the image, it crops off the excess area of the image that it had to do to eliminate any white spaces. So that's a great, easy one-step way to straighten an image and crop it at the same time. If you don't want the image to be straightened and cropped all in one step, here's a little trick. You can hold down the Alt key on the PC, Option key on the Mac, while you press the straighten button, and the image will only be straightened. It will not be cropped. You'll end up with something that looks like that, and you can crop it manually.